Hello, and welcome back to room 23. Since the last video, I've created the laundry room. One of your jobs at the hotel will be to collect used sheets and fabrics and take them down to the laundry room in the basement to be cleaned. The work began as always with the acquisition of many images from Google of laundry rooms. Once I have downloaded a sizable collection, I open PureRef and throw them in. And now I know what a laundry room is, I first sketch out a floor plan to get an idea of what it will look like. With the basic understanding of the layout, I can quickly throw together a 3D version in Unreal and try out some basic furniture layouts. The original version that I created in 5 minutes was very basic and used pre-made assets. The problem was that the models I had for the washing machine and dryer did not fit my needs, as there was no way to open them and view the inside. So after I had tried out a few different layouts and decided on the general style of the room, it was time to get the custom assets I needed created. In my 3D modelling program Blender, I first made a list of the assets I would need to create. Only 3, well that's easy. Because I wanted the washing machine and dryer to have moving parts, they were split into separate models with the door and drum being detached, which allows me to put them together in Unreal and add animations to each of them. The sub dispenser is a basic box shape and the button mesh was created split into 2 parts so a push animation can be added in. Once these were created and unwrapped, it was time to texture them, so I loaded them up in Substance Painter. The washing machine and dryer share mostly the same mesh, so I just cut out the front part of the dryer and gave it its own UV space. The hardest part of doing the texturing was adapting my texturing process to fit the project. As the game does not use albedo maps, which is the one that has all the colour information, I had to figure out how best to texture models and have detail appear in Unreal. For example, with the sub dispenser, simply making a logo and then putting it on the model would not work, as once in Unreal all the data would be gone. So instead, the logo was placed inside the roughness map so it could appear in contrast to the roughness of the metal. For the floor, I needed some kind of tiles, but I also wanted them to look very old and distressed, so it was time to dive back into Quixel Megascans. For those who don't know, Quixel Megascans is a library of over 15,000 materials that are created using real life photos and of very high quality, and thanks to them being owned by Epic, they are also completely free to use in Unreal 4. After looking at and trying out a few different materials, I decided to use this one. So then I took it into Quixel Mixer, another great program that can be used for combining Megascans to create new materials. A bit of work and now the tiles look terrible, but in a good way. Back in Unreal 4, I can just click this Create Material Blend button, and it did not work. The Create Material Blend function comes from Quixel Link, but due to my game's black and white art style, this system had too many problems to function well due to the amount of changes I had made to materials. So instead, I just created my own basic version, plugged the textures in and assigned the ruined version to the red vertex channel. Replaced the floor with a high poly version, and using the vertex paint tool in Unreal 4, I painted on the destruction. If you're gonna clean clothes then you need something to help clean them, and what better than to use soap. So after putting the sub dispenser into Unreal and adding some buttons and writing the code for it, the sub dispenser was created. And with a high level of quality like this, I can't see anything breaking here. This is fine. Things are moving along well and I should be done soon as long as nothing goes wrong. Oh no. PC? You okay? That's not fine. With everything going well, Windows 10 decided now was a great time to corrupt itself. So the next few days were lost to me having to reinstall Windows and get everything back up. Luckily I didn't lose anything, and after a quick swearing match with Windows 10, I was back up and running. Now was the time to add some sounds to the laundry room, so after freesound.org and some editing in Audacity. And with that, well, take a listen. Now I had a working laundry room, I needed to add things the player could pick up and take to the laundry room. Blender includes a great set of simulation tools, and one of these is cloth simulation. With this, I can create a mattress, place a plane above it and subdivide it, reposition parts of it and help get the simulation correct. Met with all these settings, and finally I can press play and watch the cloth fall right through the mattress. Remember to enable collision on the mattress and play it again. And after waiting for it to render, I now have a full cloth simulation and a nice looking bed sheet. With some other changes to the base model and redoing the simulation, I can create multiple versions ranging from a tidy bed sheet all the way to a complete mess. Why would someone leave a hotel room bed like this? With the simulation done, I can convert it to a normal mesh and begin editing it. Whilst the simulation has done a good job, parts of it still have problems. For example, here you can see part of the sheets are sticking out, giving the sheet an odd rigid look. Problems like these are simply fixed by going into the Sculpt tab in Blender, and whilst holding down Shift, click and move around the problem area of the object. This activates the smoothing tool and removes all of these small problems with ease. And finally, after all this, the bed sheets can be taken from Blender into Unreal 4, and with a few materials applied, the beds now have bed sheets. And because they are separate objects, with a bit of tweaking to the trash object, I can turn the bed sheet into an object that can be picked up. With all of this done, I now have a working system allowing the player to take dirty bed sheets and clean them in the basement's laundry room. So after about 2 weeks of work, the laundry room is now functional and the player has more work to do in the game. Yippee. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and next time we will definitely look at some of that horror I've been promising. Until then, see you soon.